Hey everybody, welcome to another top 20 list. Although this time, this is the first ever music related top 20 lists. Yes. And today I will be sharing my top 20 favorite debut albums. Yes. So I know I said in the last few videos that it was going to be a top 10 debut albums list. But you see, whenever I was going through, I was going through all the albums I picked out, and evidently I picked out 20 albums, and I counted, after I got my 10, I counted what was left, and there was 10 more, and I was like, well, there's kind of no point in having 10 honorable mentions, so why not just do a top 20? So yeah, top 20 favorite debut albums. So yes, keep in mind my personal opinions. If your favorite debut album isn't on here, I apologize. There's going to be some pretty well-known ones on here, and also some like very underrated debut albums. Like probably, uh, I know there's going to be a couple that you probably wouldn't expect to be on a top 20 favorite debut albums list, but yeah, these are my personal favorites. So yeah. Um all right. So let's all right, I think I got all that out of the way. Let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully this video won't be very long. Hopefully it'll be under 40 minutes, but we'll see. I'm going to try to keep it at least under 40 minutes. There might be some I might not talk too much about, so yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? All right, number 20. Now, my number 20 comes from a rap group. There's actually two I have from rap groups, and the rest is like pretty much just rock. But there's two rap albums I have on this list. So yeah, my number 20 comes from a rap group, one of my favorites. There's another one I like better that we'll get to later, but my number 20 is Cypress Hill's self-titled. Yes. If you can see that. Sorry for the glare, but yeah, Cypress Hill, self-titled. Really, really awesome rap album. Kind of underrated. This one doesn't get talked about as much as Black Sunday. Probably mostly because Black Sunday has the most popular Cypress Hill song. You know, the one everyone knows, "Insane in the Brain." But this might be unpopular opinion. I actually prefer the self-titled over um, Black Sunday. Black Sunday is good, but I prefer this one. Yeah, this one has some great songs on it, like "Pigs" and "How I Could Just Kill a Man," "Hand on the Pump," "Hole in the Head," the "Funky Feel" one, "Psycho Bet It Buck Down." Um, yeah, some really good stuff on here. I like this album a lot. Probably one of my favorite rap albums, hip hop albums. Yeah, I like this album a lot. Cypress Hill's self titled is my number 20. Okay, number 19. I don't own this one. I need to get this one. This is Sonic Youth's debut album. Number 19 is Sonic Youth's Confusion is Sex. Yeah, Confusion is Sex. Now I know they did have that self-titled EP that came out before this, so you could say that that's their real debut. But I didn't want to count EPs. I'm just counting studio albums. This is their first studio album, Confusion is Sex, and I actually really like this album. I think this is a very underrated Sonic Youth album. I kind of get why a lot of people probably don't like this one because it is like really dark and it's very dark, but I like it a lot. Very dark and noisy, but I like it a lot. It sounds really cool. Um, yeah, and like some of the guitars kind of sound like kind of like clocks and bells. It sounds pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, some good songs on here. She's in a Bad Mood, Protect Me You. There's a cover of I Want to Be Your Dog from the Stooges. Shaking Hell, Inhuman, Confusion is next. Is my favorite. Yeah, I like this album quite a bit. It's actually one of my favorite Sonic Youth albums. So yeah, Confusion Sex is my number 19. All right, number 18 is 40 Ounces to Freedom by Sublime. Yeah, another one I don't own. There's actually, yeah, like I said, there's quite a bit that I don't own, but yeah, I really like Sublime, the great ska punk band from the 90s. Rest in peace, Brad Noel. Um, and their debut is not my favorite. I actually, out of the three albums, honestly, it's my least favorite. Like, I'm not really a big fan of the production on this album, but as an album itself, it is very good. And I do think it's a very good debut album. And there's quite a bit of good songs I like on here, like Waiting for My Ruka, the self titled songs, Don't Push, Bad Fish, maybe the most popular one on here, maybe. Um, Let's Go Get Stoned. I like their cover of Scarlet Begonas by Grateful Dead. That was great. Uh, no pun intended. DJs, um, Right Back, What Happened, Date Rape. That's another big one from this album. Their cover of Hope from the Descendants is good. Yeah, it's a good album. Like I said, it is my least favorite Sublime album, just because I don't know. Actually, Robin the Hood, the production on that isn't really that great either, but I kind of like that one better just because it has more experimental stuff. But this one is very good too, don't get me wrong. Yeah, 40 Ounces of Freedom, great ska punk album, and a great debut album by Sublime. Yeah, 40 Ounces of Freedom by Sublime is my number 18. Yeah, also great album cover too. Okay, number 17. Number 17. I talked about this band in my last music related video. I did a ranking of their discography. My number 17 is The Doors, self titled. Um, yeah, great debut album for sure. Not my favorite Doors album. If you've seen my ranking, if not even spoilers, but my favorite Doors album is actually Morrison Hotel. But this is a great one too. I like this one a lot. You got Break On Through to the Other Side, of course, and Soul Kitchen, The Crystal Ship, Alabama Song is my favorite. Light My Fire, of course. Backdoor Man, Take As It Comes, The End. Yeah, really awesome album. Great debut by The Doors. Yeah, that is my number 17. No, six. I don't know. It's either 17 or 16. Let me check. I'm sorry. 17. It's my number 17. The Door self-titled. All right, my number 16. Now this band, like Sonic Youth, did have another album. It was actually a live album before the actual studio album, but again, I'm only counting studio albums. Um, My number 16 is from a band that sucks. If you know, you know. That is Primus's Frizzle Fry. Yeah, Primus sucks. Frizzle Fry, great debut album. This album sucks. And yeah, I love this album. I don't know if it's my favorite. Also really like Selling Seas of Cheese. It's either this or Selling Seas of Cheese, but yeah, great songs on here like To Defy the Laws of Tradition, Too Many Puppies, Mr. Know It All. The self-titled song is amazing. I love that one a lot. John the Fisherman, The Toys Go Winding Down, Pudding Time. Uh, yeah, um, really, really awesome album. Debut from Primus, Frizzle Fry. Yeah, that is my number 16. All right, number 15. Got them on my shirt. That's right. Black Sabbath self-titled debut um, is my number 15. I love this album. This is an amazing debut album. Like, and honestly, it's my favorite Black Sabbath album, to be honest. Yeah, you got, of course, the self-titled song with that scary ass guitar riff. You got the Wizard with that awesome harmonica that Ozzy actually played. You also got Behind the Wall of Sleep and NIB, which is my favorite Black Sabbath song, and Wicked World and Warning. Yeah, this is an amazing debut. Also, I have to mention Ozzy's vocals sound amazing on this album. Like Ozzy Osbourne, he's not the best singer. I think he's okay, but he does have a weird voice. But his voice actually doesn't even sound like it. Barely sounds like him. His voice is deeper on this album, but it sounds awesome. Like if he sounded like if throughout his career, if he sounded like what he did on this album, he would probably most maybe be one of my favorite singers. He sounded awesome on this album. Yeah, Black Sabbath self-titled is my number 15. All right, number 14 is most likely the weirdest album on this list. My number 14, man, this album really changed my life. Like, I never heard music like this before. My number 14 is Mr. Bungle self-titled. Yeah, Mr. Bungle. If you don't know who Mr. Bungle is, the lead singer of Faith No More, Mike Patton. This is his other band. Actually, he started Mr. Bungle before he joined Faith No More. So yeah, but this is their self-titled album. Just yeah, Mr. Bungle. And man, this album, like I said, this album changed my life. Like I never heard anything like this before it. Maybe the closest, maybe Primus, but even Primus, like Primus is a weird band, but they're not as weird as Mr. Bungle. Like this album, it's just crazy, but it is amazing. Like this is like amazing funk metal mixed with all kinds of different other genres like jazz and funk and well, I said funk metal, and you also like have like video game music and circus music and stuff like that in it also. It's crazy. Um, Great songs on here like quote unquote, slowly growing death, squeeze me macaroni, carousel. That one might be my favorite maybe. Um, Egg and Love is a Fist. Yeah, this album's great. Unfortunately, I don't own it. I need to get it, but yeah, this album is awesome. Yeah, Mr. Bungle self-titled album is my number 14. All right, number 13 is one of the greatest punk albums ever made. This album might have been the album that made punk what it is today. Made punk a great genre that it is. Um, my number 13 is another self-titled album. Got quite a bit. Ramones self-titled. Yeah, for the Ramones self-titled. I also did a discography ranking of the Ramones. Also, go check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, and this was actually my number one too. Spoilers, but yeah, um, yeah, this is an amazing punk album. You got great songs on here, of course, like Blitzkrieg Bop and Beat on the Brat, Judy's a Punk, I Want to Be Your Boyfriend, Chainsaw is actually my favorite. Now I Want to Sniff Some Glue. Um, um, I Don't Want to Go Down to the Basement, Havana Affair, 53rd and 3rd, Today Your Love, Tomorrow the World. Yeah, great album. I love this. One of the greatest punk albums ever made. Yeah, Ramones self-titled is my number 13. Okay, number 12. Number 12 is a underrated debut album from a very well-known band, but I would say this is underrated because this album sounds different from their other albums. My number 12 is Three Imaginary Boys by The Cure. Yeah. Um. Now it's not my favorite Cure album. My favorite is The Head on the Door, and I also really like Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. But this is my third favorite. I think I really like Three Imaginary Boys a lot. And yeah, like I said, this doesn't sound anything like their other stuff. This was way before they thought about doing the goth thing or whatever. Um, like this album is more kind of like post punk, I would say, and it's really good. I like this one a lot. I think there might be some Cure fans that don't like this album very much, but I really enjoy it. You got I don't have the track list on the back, unfortunately, but I'll just say the ones I remember. Was that one 3:15 Saturday night or whatever it's called? I might have said the number wrong, but oh well. Um, Grinding Halt, Fire in Cairo is great. That's probably my favorite. There's a funny and weird cover of Foxy Lady that is actually sung by the bass player on here. Um, and the self-titled song is great too. Um, yeah, Three Imaginary Boys. I really like this one a lot. This is a great debut by The Cure, even though again it sounds different from most Cure albums. But yeah, Three Imaginary Boys by The Cure is my number 12. Okay, my number 11 is from a band that I used to love. I loved them back in my middle school days, and I still like them to an extent. Like, I still have a lot of respect for them, but I do, however, still love this album, their debut album. My number 11 is Korn, self-titled. Yeah, um, man, this album is so fucking aggressive and like really heavy and really dark. And this is the Korn I love. I mean, their first four albums were pretty pretty good, but this is definitely their best in my opinion. And yeah, some really fucked up lyrics and stuff, especially in the last song, Daddy, which is probably, at least in my opinion, the most fucked up song ever written. But yeah, but you got other songs on here like Blind and Ball Tongue and Need to Clown, excuse my language here, Faggot, but that's a great song. I hope YouTube doesn't, you know, take the video down because I said that word, but that's a great song too, though. Shoots and Ladders, Predictable, Helmet in the Bush. Yeah, this is a great album. I like this one a lot. Again, very heavy, aggressive, fucked up, but it's awesome. It's one of my favorite heavy metal albums, to be honest. I mean, Korn is mostly a new metal band, but their heaviest album, I would have to say, is their debut. But yeah, Korn, self-titled, is my number 11. Okay, my number 10 is from, well, okay, this is a very, very underrated debut album, and even just an underrated album in general, from a band that was pretty well known in the 90s. But my number 10 is Everclear's World of Noise. Yeah, you might not have been expecting this one, but yeah, World of Noise by Everclear. Everclear, a pretty decent band from the 90s. I'm not like a huge Everclear fan. You know, I mean, songs that are not on this album, I like a few others, and the second album, which is probably a lot of people's favorite, Sparkle and Fade, that one's a pretty good album, but I don't love it as much as World of Noise. World of Noise, now, despite it having kind of a shitty production, I still love this album. Like, I don't know, man. The shitty production of this album kind of works. Like, I still think it sounds really cool, even though it's not the sound quality is not the best, but I still like it a lot. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think you could find this album. Like, I doubt this album will be on Spotify. I know it wasn't on iTunes, but it's probably not like on any streaming services. But it's probably on YouTube, so you could find it there. But this is an amazing album. I love it. Got great songs on here like Your Genius Hands, Sick and Tired is my favorite. The Laughing World, Fire Maple Song. Mel Violent, Sparkle, Loser Makes Good, Evergleam. This is a great album. I highly recommend it if you haven't heard it yet, especially if you're an Everclear fan, but you haven't heard this album. Listen to it. Like, YouTube is probably the best way to hear it. But yeah, I love World Noise. Yeah, it's even my favorite Everclear album. But again, I'm not the biggest Everclear fan. I think they're good, and they were even the last famous band that I saw live. So yeah, but um, yeah, World Noise by Everclear is my number 10. All right, my number 9 is another hip hop album, and this is my favorite. This is from probably my favorite hip hop band, my favorite hip hop rap band, whatever you want to call it. Um, Honestly, I'm not really sure what the difference is between hip hop and rap, honestly, but people consider it to be one genre, anyways, for the most part. So, but my number 9 is, and this is actually from a newer hip hop group, or new-ish at least. I mean, they've been around for about at least 10 years, but I like I like older rap better than modern rap. But this band is fucking awesome. My number 9 is The Money Store by Death Grips. Yeah, hopefully, also the album cover has nudity on it. Hopefully, that won't be taken down because of that. But yeah, The Money Store, um, Death Grips. Death Grips is a really awesome experimental rap group. They're pretty strange, but I love them. Like I pretty much just recently got into Death Grips. Well, about I don't know, maybe 5 months ago, but still kind of recent to me at least. Um, but yeah, I was actually listening to this today, also, believe it or not. But yeah, whenever I'll send like getting my list ready, I was listening to this. But yeah, great songs on here like Get Got, Lost Boys, Hustle Bones. I've seen footage, System Blower, The Cage, yeah, Hacker. This album is awesome. If you like hip hop, rap, and you haven't heard this album or Death Grips in general, I highly recommend. This is this is amazing. Um, and Death Grips is probably my favorite rap group, to be honest. Unless if you count the Beastie Boys, but I kind of consider Beastie Boys to be more rock. So yeah, they're more of a rock band in my opinion, but rap group Death Grips is amazing. Yeah, Death Grips the Money Store is my number 9. Excuse me. Okay, my number 8 is Queens of the Stone Age, self-titled. Yeah, I love this one. I think this might be my favorite Queens of the Stone Age album too. I am hopefully someday I'll be doing a Queens of the Stone Age ranking. And we'll see what it is for sure when we get to there. But but yeah, this is a great debut by Queens of the Stone Age, and I love this album. Great songs like Regular John, Avon, If Only, You Would Know, Mexicola is awesome. How or you can't quit me, baby. It's my favorite. Yeah, this is a great album. I like it a lot. It's maybe my favorite Queens album. We'll see. Like I said, sorry for repeating myself, but yeah, Queens of the Stone Age. I'll talk more about it whenever I do the ranking. But yeah, Queens of the Stone Age self-titled is my number 8. All right, my number seven is from one of my favorite classic rock bands. This is the Velvet Underground, the Velvet Underground and Nico by the Velvet Underground. Um, I could say by the Velvet Underground and Nico, but Nico wasn't really in the band, so she's more just like a guest on the album, really. But the album's called Velvet Underground Nico, so yeah. But yeah, this is everybody. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of rock fans love this album and say that this is like one of the greatest debut albums of all time. I definitely agree. It is amazing. Not my favorite Velvet Underground album, actually. I actually like the second album, White Light, White Heat, better. But this one is great as well. You got Sunday Morning, I'm Waiting for the Man, Femme Fatale, Venus and Furs, All Tomorrow's Parties, Heroin, uh, There She Goes Again, I'll Be Your Mirror. Yeah, this one's great. I love this album. Yeah. Velvet Underground Nico by the Velvet Underground is my number seven. Also, I think the next discography ranking I'm going to do is the Velvet Underground, so look out for that. All right, number see, that was number seven. My number six. Okay, my number six is the Stooges, self-titled. Yeah. Man, I need to get those albums. I need to get the Stooges self-titled, and I need to get the Velvet Underground Nico. I don't know why I don't own those, but in fact, I don't even own any Stooges albums, unfortunately. I don't know why. I love the Stooges, but anyways, those Stooges self-titled. This is what made Iggy Pop one of the greatest rock, one of the greatest rock frontmen of all time, and what made Stooges an amazing band. This is an amazing debut album. You got 1969, I Want to Be Your Dog, We Will Fall, which is an amazing, underrated Stooges song, which is 10 minutes long, but it is amazing. I love it. No Fun and um, Not Right. Yeah, this album is awesome. Yeah, Stooges, self-titled, is my number six. Okay, my number five, from one of my favorite bands of all time. I've done some videos on them. Did a discography ranking of my top 20 favorite songs by them. Go check this out. My my number five is their debut album, Bleach by Nirvana. I should say. I didn't even say who it was, but yeah, Nirvana's Bleach. Yeah, this is a great debut album by Nirvana. No Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl isn't on here, but you got Chad Channing on drums and a few songs on three songs. Actually, Del Crover from the Melvins. That is, who's actually my favorite drummer. Um, he drums on three songs. But yeah, Bleach is a great album. Great grunge album. Got songs like Blue and Floyd the Barber, About a Girl, School. Their cover of Love Buzz is great. Paper Cuts, Negative Creed, Swap Meet, Mr. Mustache, Big Cheese. Yeah. Bleach by Nirvana is my number five. Okay, my number four is an album by a band that is very underrated. Very underrated band from the 90s. They're only known for this album and one song, mostly in particular. My number four is Rubberneck by the Toadies. Yeah, Toadies is a very underrated, awesome band, and their debut album, Rubberneck, is amazing. I would say this is definitely one of my favorite albums of the 90s, but yeah. Um, yeah, got great songs on here like Mr. Love, Backslider, the most popular song that everyone knows by the Toadies, Possum Kingdom, Away, I Come from the Water, Tyler, um, I Burn. Yeah. This album is awesome. Rubberneck by the Toadies is my number four. Okay, my number three. This is probably my favorite band, and I've done some videos on them. Go check them out. But however, this isn't my favorite debut album, even though it is from my favorite band. At least I think they're my favorite band. But my number three is GoodWeenSatan the Oneness by Ween. Yeah, Ween's debut album. I had to put this one on here. Um, this is a very weird album, but it's Ween, of course. So, but I don't think it's as weird as Mr. Bungle's self-titled. So, yeah. But this is, you know, GoodWeenSatan's great. It got you fucked up. I'm in the mood to move. I got to Weasel, Fat Lenny, Bumblebee, Don't Laugh, I Love You, Up on the Hill, Nicole, Common Bitch, El Camino, Nan, Licking the Palm for Guava, and Mushroom Cloud Festival at Hell, LMLYP, um, Birthday Boy, Squelch the Weasel, um, or Squelch the Weasel, and Marble Tulip Juicy Tree. Yeah, ton of songs too. There's a lot of songs on the album. This is yeah. Um, sorry, I'm tired. But yeah, great debut album. GoodWeenSatan the Oneness by Ween is my number three. All right, and now we're finally in the top two. So these two albums, I was trying to decide which one I liked better, but I made a decision. My number two is once I heard this album, I was automatically hooked on this band. This is an amazing debut album. My number two is Are We Not Men? We Are Devo by Devo. Yeah, I love this man. I love this album. Um, I also have it on CD, but I wanted to show the record. Um, yeah, great songs like Uncontrollable Urge. Was it their cover of Satisfaction from the Stones, Space Junk, Jocko Homo, Mongoloid. Uh, I love Gut Feeling. That's probably my favorite song on the album. Come Back Johnny, Shrivel Up. This album is amazing. Like I remember the very first time I heard it. Like I knew who Devo was, of course, before I heard this, but I only knew Whip It. But whenever I heard this, I was like, holy shit, this band is amazing, and this album is amazing. I love Devo. Yeah. So yeah, Are We Not Men? We Are Devo by Devo is my number two. And my number one favorite debut album of all time is Unknown Pleasures by Joy Division. Yes, I fucking love this album. I love this album. I love Joy Division. This made me a Joy Division fan. Um, this is an amazing album, and it sounds amazing on this record. This record sounds amazing. Like, I recommend getting the vinyl for this album. I don't know which vinyl in particular, which copy to get, but hopefully they all sound great. Hopefully they sound as good as at least this one because this is amazing. This is like honestly my favorite record that I own is Unknown Pleasures by Joy Division. Like this album is just unbelievable. And and this has like a really um I don't know. The production on this album isn't the best, but it works with the music. That's why I love it. Like it definitely works with the music, and again, it sounds amazing on vinyl. Great tracks on here like Disorder and Shadow Play, and my favorite New Dawn Fades. She's lost control. Um, Days of the what's it called? Days of the New or something like that. I could be wrong about that. I remember nothing. I think it's the last track. The yeah, there's no track list on the back so I can look. But yeah, this is an amazing album. This is one of my favorite albums of all time, and it is my number one favorite debut album, Unknown Pleasures by Joy Division. Yeah. All right. There we go. There is my top 20 favorite debut albums. So in the comments, give me your top 20 favorite debut albums or top 10, or just say what your favorite is. Yeah. All right. So next videos, I'm still trying to decide what to do for Monday. I have an idea, but I don't want to say what it is yet because it might not happen. You know. Um, but I'll come up with something, a list of some sort, yeah, a list, some movie lists. We'll see. Um, and as for Thursday, oh, actually, I don't know if I have anything planned yet for Thursday either. So for a music related video, I don't know yet. It'll probably be I think it'll be a album ranking, where I rank all the songs from an album. I don't know what yet. We'll see. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah, please like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell. And I'll see you next time. All right. Peace.